everybody. As promised a couple of weeks ago, today I'm going to share with you some of the sewing accessories that I've made myself. And everything I show you today either has a pattern on my site or a free tutorial, and I'll post all those links in the description of this video. It probably mostly started because of this beautiful fabric that is so my colors. It's sewing themed, as you can see. And from it, what I did, and I've shown this in a video recently, I made a cover for my sewing machine with my sewing machine design on the front, a patchwork version. I'll post a picture here. So you can see it better because this isn't far enough away. But it's using those colors, and I love this sewing machine cover. All right. I made most of my items in the same colors that I love, which, as you can see, are greens and pinks. This is a sewing kit I made for myself, and this pattern is online. And it holds things you need. I can pop this in my bag, and I have all my hand stitching stuff right here for me to take with me when I go. It comes with, I quilted the background. It comes with a pocket that I can put things in, and it's got a back pocket and a front pocket. And place for my scissors, my thimble, a place to put pins, places for my needles, my little needle book with my threader, and even a place that I did with just using pretty buttons that I can wrap threads around. I can have color threads without bringing whole spools with me. So this is a fun, pretty thing to have when I'm taking sewing on the road. And speaking of taking sewing kits on the road, I also, and these are, excuse the wrinkles, I found them just before I made the video, and they were squished under some things, and I decided you probably don't care that there's wrinkles in it, so I decided to show you them without actually the pressing. I have a tutorial online that shows how to make these bags in a couple of different sizes. They're just your handwork to take with you in a bag, and then you just, you know, do this with the cords, and you're all set to go. And I didn't make these in my green, well, this is technically green and pink with the black background, but I didn't think at the time to make this in the same colors as my other sewing things, but that's okay. I like these colors too. Now, one thing that I also did, and this tutorial is also online, I'll link to, is I took some ribbon, and your ribbon can be as fat, or I wouldn't go skinnier than this, but definitely could be wider. And with felt and some measuring and another needle threader that's in there, it's just a mini little needle book that I keep in the little bowl that I have where I hand stitch at home. And if I have any extra needles I need or anything, they're in here, or these pins happen to be the ones I use when I'm doing binding. So that's, I'll link to that little easy needle book to make yourself. This is something else that I made myself. It is in the colors that I like. Probably every one of us has one of these little plastic measuring tapes, and I just gussied it up so that I wasn't looking like a plastic measuring tape. I have a tutorial for this. I will link to it as well. It makes your little measuring tape pretty. And before I show what I have the most of, which is pin cushions. I thought I'd share this as well. Now, I didn't make the basket. I like this hexagon shaped basket. I use it for all different things. At the moment, it's holding the threads that I'm using for my Bits and Bobs collage quilt, but it's gone through holding all kinds of different things. It was falling apart, and what I ended up doing, it wasn't very useful when it was falling apart. I got some of this green ribbon, and I hand stitched it around the edges of the lid and the basket, and now it is so much sturdier and has become usable again. So that's a way to repurpose something and make it matching to your collection. Okay, now I think I talked about, some of this came up because I was talking about pin cushions in an earlier episode. And so I'm going to show you my pin cushion collection. This whole collection started with this Hexie mini pin cushion, and the tutorial to this I will post again, the link to it. It sits in my little sewing bowl and holds all the needles and pins that I need for hand stitching. And what I like the idea of is having a whole collection of different pin cushions, all in the same basic fabrics and colors. So that's where this came from, and I made it a series a few years ago, available on my site. This one is a free tutorial, and then there's two patterns. One is the first original 9 pin cushions that I created, and that's a playing with pin cushions pattern. And then available as of today, I have a bonus edition of that, and there's another 5 pin cushions I've included in that pattern. Okay, so here's the original 9. There's one I made out of a bottle cap. There's my crazy quilted dress form. A Dresden plate with the different segments. A log cabin. A hexagon flower in a hexagon, and it's got some nice trims around the side. I made a mini hoop pin cushion. You can put pins in there. That's kind of fun. Round flower. By the way, this basket is a treasure for me, because it was my grandmother's darning basket. You can actually it even had its the egg she used for darning. This as well, and the rest of it is just filled with wooden spools that I had collected during a time when I worked for a tailor. Oh, and yes, and this, which I corked through when I was a child. All right, back to pin cushions. What else? Oh yes, this apple core cube pin cushion comes in that original pattern. Let me get this basket a little further out of the way. There. And the spool. This little spool. So those are the original 9, minus that. After I published the original 9 playing with pin cushion patterns from that series, then every year for the next few years, I published another single pattern of a single pin cushion, and it was a bonus pattern as a thank you to the members of my site. And now I've rounded up the 5 of those, and I put them in a bonus edition, and I will link to that. That's a pattern that is available as of today, and I'll link to it in the description. Now I'll show you those. Here's the pineapple, little pineapple block. I have another video some of you might have seen where I show some of these little pin cushions and call them Barbie pillows, because they definitely would make little cute Barbie pillows. Anyways, this was last year's and the last one that I am going to do of the series, as far as I know. Yeah, I didn't do one this year. This is Joseph's coat and Mariner's compass. It's one of my favorite, and I put this rickrack around the edge because it made me think of the waves of the water. So I thought that was a nice tie-in and nice way to decorate the side. And this is Hearts Intertwined. It's a block that's in my big sampler wall hanging, and I just made it into miniature for this, which turned out so sweet. And then the final one was a couple of years ago, and I did show this earlier in an earlier video too for crazy quilting. This little crazy quilted heart, which is so sweet. The little scissor fob. All right. And for my 20th anniversary a few years ago, I didn't publish a pattern for my members, but what I did is I published a tutorial that explains how you can turn any object into a pin cushion, and I made this little basket. So I will also link to this tutorial. There's going to be a lot of links for you to visit if you are interested at all. And just for the fun of it, I thought this year for my anniversary I would do something with this, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But the plan is, let me get my scissors. I'm going to decorate the side. Notice it matches and I'm going to make it a little scissor holder. Can you see that? There. I haven't done it yet, and now that I've mentioned it on here, how about I make it a tutorial sometime when I finally decide what I'm going to do, because I really don't know. That's what's been holding me up. Been having too much fun playing with my bits and bobs collage quilt, that's why. All right, I hope you enjoyed all the sewing accessories I've made myself. I hope it inspires you to perhaps make a collection of your own, all in your favorite colors and fabrics. And if you do, please show me pictures. I'd love to know. All right, that's it for today. Oh no, not one more. I just saw it. I covered a matchbox to keep pins in a few years ago in the same fabric that I have used for my pin cushions. And my members got the how-to for this one at the time. I don't have that available to you, sorry. All right, that's all now. Thanks for watching. See you Thursday if you're interested for the new applique series that I'm about to start. Bye.